Okay, get ready. Now, what is this now? Shit. What the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on now? Let me start over. Jesus. Oh, I'm gonna have to check it. God damn, this thing gives me trouble. Go.
Hello, Las Vegas. This is Rolando Larraz on Face the Tribune. If you have nothing to hide, if you are not doing anything wrong, you don't have to be afraid of facing the Tribune. But if you do, watch out, we're coming after you. With me today is my co-host, Mr. Producer, Clark Philly. And I tell you, Clark, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
Whatever time of the day you are watching this show. I would like to know what people will say about me when I die.
Oh, well,
You
just
know,
read about Prince, you'll
I
find
was
out.
I was watching TV all morning, of course. Every time somebody die, it is all morning talking about. The guy never did anything wrong. Everything is good. You know, well, I hope somebody finds something good to say about me when I die. I tell you, I had a very bad experience with Prince.
Really?
Yeah. I was in the Tower of Record in California, a place where they sell records and videos and tapes and everything else. And that place, it was on Sunset Boulevard, and I forgot.
It's a famous place.
Yeah, it is. Everybody used to go there. And Prince walked over there, walk in, and he didn't walk over there, he drove over there, but let me correct that because maybe somebody is looking for all the mistakes I can make to criticize me today. But but anyway, Prince walked in. These two young ladies, I don't know how old could they be, 14, 15, 16 years old, and they asked for an autograph, and he refused to give him an autograph. He said, I don't do autograph at nighttime. I tell you, I felt like telling myself, without those autographs, you be nobody. You be nobody, you know, but I don't know. It was not my business, but the two girls were so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So they were, they almost cry, I tell you that much.
You know, you're some celebrity. That's one of the things that you have to,
Sure.
just out of courtesy, because that's your position. You can't be some snob about it. You know, geez.
I walked into the Riviera coffee shop one day, and from the door to my booth, I had to sign 7 autographs.
Yeah,
you know?
I know, it's tough. I go through the same thing. I'm just this little radio show that I heard.
I know.
Every place I go to the grocery store.
And they don't even know your
My
face.
ice cream's melted, everything by the time I get to the cashier. All my frozen foods are all thawed out. Jeez.
Tomorrow we're gonna have a mystery guest. I'm not going to say the name yet because
I know why.
and I wanted to. Yeah, you can close that. Yeah, and we're gonna have a mystery guest tomorrow. We're gonna have a very very interesting. This gentleman is he got the tendency to be, in my opinion, you know, I never met him, but I have the tendency that he is a little bit of socialist. He like Bernie Sanders, so I think, but I give him everybody the opportunity to express their opinion. You know, I don't.
You might be the only fair and balanced show left because Fox News, I don't think, is fair and balanced anymore. Not with Megyn Kelly on there. She's not. They're not.
Why? She made friends with Donald Trump
Well,
already.
who knows? I haven't seen any evidence of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyway, she's blonde. She's pretty. She's not too young. But how old do you think Megyn Kelly is?
Probably. She's got friends. She's just now popping out kids. You know, I think she's had 3. So she's probably only been married for 4 years. So I think her kids are fairly young. She's probably early 40s.
50?
Oh no, she's not 50. She's late 30s, early 40s.
Really? That's all?
I think so, yeah.
Well, she look older than that.
Well, anybody older than 29 looks like some grandmother to you, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the love of my life is 29, and I hope I can keep her on 29 for the rest.
How long have you been 39? I mean, that can go on for a long
I
time.
know. Let's don't talk about my age because in case she's listening to this radio broadcast,
She didn't know you were that old as 39?
No, she didn't know that. Anyway, what's going on with our friend Donald Trump? What's
Well, I
happening?
just looked up the Real Clear Politics polls.
Uh-huh.
The RCP average, Fox News, NBC News, CBS News, Atlantic, and the IDP tip, whatever that is. Trump, plus 9.8, plus 18, plus 5, plus 13, plus 6, plus 7. And that's the national polls.
But
Now,
what is
where
that
is
plus?
this
What is
poll?
that plus? Explain that.
Up over Hillary. Up.
Or
Right.
that's what I mean. Plus 9.
So
mean,
where is the poll where Hillary's just gonna trounce him? Where's
No,
that
not only
poll?
that. Not only that. Where is the poll that the mainstream media said that he's losing? We talked about that the other day. 2 times in the row, 2 days in the row, the Associated Press and of course the daily paper. I tell you, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a change when Sheldon Adelson bought that paper, but I think it's getting worse.
Yeah, I haven't seen any indication that it's
No, not at
changing
all.
much.
I think he need, unless he's waiting until it's closer, and then he take over the reins of the.
He was backing Rubio, so who's he backing now?
He's probably back in what's his name, Cruz.
Well, our illustrious governor is backing Kasich, who doesn't have a chance in hell. Why would you pick a Kasich?
But why are you going to listen to whatever Brian Sandoval?
You think I listen? My point is, why in the world would anybody do something so stupid?
Because that's his mentality.
He doesn't have a mentality. He's mental.
That's right. That's right. What do you expect from a guy that had to take orders from Harry Reid all the time?
So Reed's backing Kasich?
I don't
Probably,
know.
because he wouldn't back Cruz because Cruz went against McConnell. Well, I don't know. Cruz is not what do you call it? Jesus Christ. Establishment.
No.
Cruz is not establishment, so Reed would never back him. He can't back Trump, so Reed must be backing Kasich. And that's why Sandoval is.
But you don't think Cruz is establishment?
No. Well, he says he's not.
He's semi-establishment.
Well, that's why all the senators don't like him, is because he's not supposedly establishment. He's less establishment than Kasich, let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. You can tell. But you know what I don't like about Cruz?
He's a liar, lying Ted.
Well, every politician lies, so it's not. every politician, and that's why I every time I hear Trump saying that he's going to be more presidential, I hope he's not going to be that much presidential. I hope that he keep telling the people the truth, and he keep telling the people what they want to hear and what he's going to do. I don't want to hear more presidential and then be a fake and be a liar and be everything else, you know. But what bothers me about Cruz is he looks like he's imitating his father. He's doing sermons, you know. He go like this, like talking to the Lord, you know.
He does.
I don't like his voice.
He acts like he's from the pulpit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I don't like about him. He look like he's giving a sermon, you know, and that's what you say, right? Sermon,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then he gets up there and says that it's going to be go to the second ballot. It's definitely going to go to the second ballot. Like, oh, he's a liar. He's lying Ted.
Yeah, but we cannot say that anymore because we got to be more presidential.
Yeah, well, he was presidential for the night of the election in his victory speech in New York. The next day, the very next day, he was back to lying Ted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it lasted one
Oh,
day.
really? I didn't watch that.
It lasted 12 hours, and he was back to lying Ted.
Oh.
And then one of the commentators, it actually gives the right commentator.
I tell you.
You know, Trump just can't help himself. He is what he is.
Yeah.
Nobody ever has to doubt about that. He's not going to change because someone tells him you should do this or you should do that. Nope, he is what he is.
You know, I like this seat very much because I can see the clock over there. I can see the time. When I'm sitting over there, the glare from the outside window, this looked like a CVS this morning. You know, people walking around. Unfortunately, the kind of people that walk around here, we don't want to put them in the camera. We don't want to put them in
coming by in about 2 minutes. You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's probably right about over there.
He's driving a BMW.
He's like a clock. He's on time every day.
Yeah, he's driving a BMW and they stop right there.
Takes the stuff out of his shopping cart.
He take a little bit of energy and he keep walking. Keep driving. Oh my God. Anyway, I tell you one thing about Donald Trump. I don't know how much involvement he got with his family, with the everyday family operation, but all his kids are well prepared, are well educated, they have style, they have, even the young lady, his daughter, I forgot her name now, Tiffany, I think.
Well, that's one of them, Tiffany.
Yeah.
She's Marla Maples' daughter.
Whoever daughter, she used Trump.
Ivanka is going to be president someday, is my prediction.
Who?
Ivanka Trump. She is a class act.
Really?
Ivanka, the oldest daughter. She's so articulate when she gives a speech and this and that.
Yeah.
Oh man, she is something else. God. Knowledgeable, qualified. She is something else. And his two boys, they're no slouches.
No. Junior is he was talking a lot the night of the New York primary. He talked a lot. Normally Eric is the one that talk.
Right.
But Junior was talking, I like the way Eric talk. I like his energy.
Yeah.
But Tiffany, the young lady, the young daughter, she is also a good talker. I don't know what school they go to, but I'm sure they didn't go to public school, that's for sure. Because you don't see them walking around with the pants in their knees and showing the t-shirt.
Hat on back. The elect Trump hat on backwards.
Yeah.
Don't say.
Yeah. And showing the underwear. I don't understand what, all that stuff come from the prison, you know that?
Yeah, that's what I heard. wearing the pants down like that means you're available or something.
Oh,
right?
really? That's what it
I
means?
heard, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know why, but I know it is.
So that's a good thing to emulate, huh? When you're walking around town showing the queers you're available. I mean, that's a good, you know, I don't think they know that. Of course, they don't know anything, but they're very low information people, that's for sure, who dress like that. They don't know what they're doing. But explain to me the math if you can. Your buddy Reince Priebus, is that the right
Yes.
name? They're having this little spring break down in Hollywood, Florida now.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's springtime, it's spring break. All the
Yeah.
college kids go down there.
Yeah.
So the RNC has to go down there for the spring break meeting. 160 of them. You know, wherever they get their money from, you know, I'm sure it's raised, you know.
The students, you mean?
No, the
Oh.
RNC.
The RNC,
The entrenched
yeah.
establishment is down there having pre-convention meeting at their spring break. I guess they have 3 or 4 breaks together on a yearly basis.
Oh.
So now they're having spring break.
Uh-huh.
Because that's where all the college kids are now, down there in Hollywood, Fort
Uh-huh.
Lauderdale. So they're on their spring break, and Reince Priebus was giving an interview on Greta, I think it was the other night, and he's explaining this political process where they're counting delegates and this and that, and you have to have 1237. And that's it, you have to have 1237. And he explains the math, that those are the rules, and you can't deviate them, because when you think about it, Trump only has like 35% of the vote. There's 65% that he didn't get. So he doesn't have the majority vote. And he slipped a little bit. He said, those are votes for other peoples. And then he kind of quickly backed up because he said peoples. Well, we don't elect the peoples. We elect one. There's going to be one nominee, not peoples, not multiple nominees. So if you have 20 people in the race and they all get 5%, 2%, 3%, and it all adds up to 65%, and one guy gets 35%, he has the plurality of the votes. He's the one guy that got more votes than all the other peoples. So how does this math even work?
Well, because all the other peoples are going to add more than the 35%. They're going to add 65%.
But we only elect one, not peoples.
Well,
You can't
but
add
you're
up the
going to take
people.
all those votes, you're going to take all those percentage, add it up, and give it to the one that
Yeah, all
he
right.
wants to.
Let's take like a guy that got 5%. Let's
Yeah.
pick him.
Because remember one
95%
thing.
voted against him.
Remember one thing. The voters, the people in the United States vote don't count.
Oh, well, you see,
That's what it is. Whoever you
it's
choose,
only what the establishment says counts.
that's exactly what it is. So they're going to take all those 65, they're going to grab them, and they're going to give it to the one that is going
That's
to
the
get
most established.
the one that is going to get in his knees and put the zipper down for whoever is in charge and start working. That's what it is.
And Reince Priebus will be the number one guy standing in line.
Probably,
Yeah, probably.
most likely. He looks like that
He
way.
brought up some example that when he got elected as the chairman of the RNC, that it went 7 ballots. On the 6th ballot, you know, I went through 6 ballots, and I had been the majority, the plurality, in every ballot. But I had to go to that 7th ballot to finally get a majority. The majority plus 1. I had to go to that 7th ballot. What a travesty he must have gone through.
I don't know.
So that's a good example why the rules should be changed, because you're only electing one person.
But-
Whoever got the most votes as that one person should win.
Let me tell you something, Clark. I know you are too young to remember this. I remember. I know you have no notion of whatever happened in the past, but I remember. Like, for example, I'm not going to go that far back. I'm going to go to 1960, when John F. Kennedy won the election. It was a primary election in June, I believe it was. June or May or June, I don't remember that far down. But, okay, there was no delegates, there was no caucus, there was no convention, nothing. People go, cast their votes, and go home or go back to work because you was allowed to get off work to go vote. Okay? On what was it, November?
So every state would have a primary, right?
Right, that's
So
all.
let's say Nevada, Kennedy won in Nevada, let's say, on the Democrat side. So he was automatically, when they go to the convention.
There was no convention. There was no convention that I can remember.
Okay.
You know.
So, all right, so they add up all the states.
Even in the first Tuesday of November, 1960, I remember specifically because I was visiting Miami, an uncle of mine that used to like to drink, and he was waiting for the election to be over so he can have a drink. I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, the bars are closed today because the election.
Right.
They used to close the bars. So, you know, it was one day, period, nothing else. You don't have convention, you don't have,
Right.
but they do this to confuse people. They do this game so they can manipulate the vote, they can manipulate and give whoever they want to give the election to.
So
That's
on
what
the
it is.
Democrat side of the ticket, who was running against Kennedy? Anybody?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
but,
don't know.
okay, so let's say, for example, it came pretty close to where half the states voted for one and half the states voted for another. Who ultimately would determine who was gonna be the nominee for the party? Didn't they have a convention?
In the
or something?
primary,
But let's say
whoever
it came
got
out-
more votes,
But let's say it came out almost a tie between the states. You add up all the votes from the states and it's
Uh-huh.
pretty close.
almost doesn't count.
Oh, well.
Almost doesn't
But they
count.
didn't have any definitive
I don't
get-together
remember.
where they
I'm
nominated
just telling
with the
you.
balloons and the confetti and all
I'm
that.
telling you, I don't remember exactly how it was. You know, I was too young back then.
The first memory I have of it is I remember those conventions. You know, with the balloons and the confetti and I remember some kind of get-together. How they got there, whether they had
Yeah.
delegates and all that.
But I don't think that was delegate. I think that was the candidates do their own thing. You know, I remember when I remember when Ralph Lamb used to make parties in his campaign. They used to have campaign headquarters. They don't have campaign headquarters anymore. I don't see any campaign headquarters now. We are running for election. What do we got? Nothing. Look at even Donald Trump. He got a little cubby hall and a second floor, you know.
With a little sign in the window that still says Trump, but no office hours because they're closed. Nothing.
You know, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then you got Joe Heck. He got a.
Well, he's in office, so he has an office because he's a congressman.
I know, but that have nothing to do with the
Right,
campaign.
right.
Nothing to do with the campaign.
I don't know about that.
Ralph Lamb was the sheriff, and he still have a campaign headquarters. And he get out of his office and go to the campaign headquarters.
Okay.
You know, it got nothing to do with their job.
I went by Dean Heller's office the other day in my neighborhood. Nice building, big letters on the building. Dean Heller, U.S. Senator. And you go in and the office is closed. 11 o'clock in the morning, no one there.
Yeah, because everybody's too important.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in the office.
Yeah.
They are out there shaking hands and,
Kissing
bullshitting.
babies. He's not even running.
Who, Dean Heller?
Yeah.
He's not running?
He's not up for re-election.
Oh, well, I'm glad because when he starts running for re-election, I'm going to go after him. So he don't have to go to Cuba anymore. Maybe he want to go. He wanted to go campaign in Cuba.
It is a little, when you're a Republican senator and you join the president, obviously on a political tour for communism, that's kind of unanswerable in my opinion. How do you justify that? It seems very strange. But we're in strange times. Everything that should be one way is another way, the opposite. We got very important now that we change our money to make some political statement. You know, I mean, why do we go through the expense and the time and the effort? Why do we change our money for? Why? Why do we have to change the $20 bill? Why do we have to put a woman on any bill? Why? Well, it's a political statement.
But you have to understand, this man need to make a statement. He already got a very, very bad image when he leave office. He's probably have replaced Jimmy Carter.
Well, he has, but not to hear him talk. He's done wonderful things.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad he has faith on himself because nobody else.
He's killed more terrorists than any single person on this planet. Him individually has killed more terrorists than anybody.
He wants to leave a legacy. Bad or good, good or bad,
He's
more bad than bad.
Millions of jobs. He's created millions of jobs.
I know. I
How
know.
many
I
has
was
he
shocked.
lost?
I was shocked when I heard that the other day out of his own mouth.
Oh yes, he can say anything.
340,000, I think he said, or something like that. We have created in this month alone 340,000 jobs. Well, I don't know where
And
they
lost 348,000 jobs, but he doesn't say that. Or maybe saved. Remember when he got elected, they had to come out with a new word. How many jobs saved? Not created. Now we have a saved designation.
That means the people that had a job already and kept the job.
They're saved jobs.
Okay.
That's a new statistic that Obama could keep track of. You know, because he was losing all these jobs, so he had to come up with something else. But look at all the jobs that have been saved. And that's a figure you can't prove.
But
so
you
that's
see,
a
this is
perfect
one thing.
democratic figure.
This is one thing good about the politicians in general. Republicans, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, everybody that run for office, has the ability to be able to express themselves the way they want people to hear, you know.
Truth means nothing, just what the people want to hear.
No, it's like they don't have to say it's raining outside.
Right, so you can go to like a
they
get-together.
say, well, when it dry, we can walk over there. They don't say it's raining, we cannot walk over there. They said when it get dry,
and you can go and give a speech and change your accent,
right,
like Hillary Clinton.
Right.
I don't know why, you know, and do that accent impersonation. I guess black people is what she was doing.
Well, I don't know.
So if you were a politician, you could become a Canadian. You could become Finland.
I'm a very
Russian, maybe.
I'm a very sexist person.
Oh.
Not sexy, sexiest.
A sexist.
Yeah. I don't like women to yell and scream at me. And every time she get on the stage, she starts screaming.
My skin crawls. Oh.
Yeah. You know, I don't like that. But that's one of the reasons that I try to mold myself, because, you know, I'm a Cuban, so Cuban have the tendency to speak loud. So when I get excited, I start moving the hands and start raising my voice. And I try not to do that, because when I come to work and I listen to Kevin Wall and he yell at me, I don't like it. So I figure people don't like when I yell at them, you know. And I'm the kind of person that I look at myself in the mirror and I look for my errors, for my mistakes, for my defects, because I want to be the one that criticize myself so I can improve myself. Even though if I haven't been able to improve myself, it's like I told somebody here yesterday when they said that I am a control freak. No, I'm not a control freak. I just wanted to have control of my territory. I want to make sure that the police is not going to come over here and drop 2 kilos of cocaine in my desk and accuse me of selling drugs. Again. Right. I don't want to be surprised by anything. I don't want to be shocked by anything. I want to be alert. That's why I tell people, in my place, this is my domain. It's like, what do you call that guy who is O'Reilly? Water.
Oh, water's world.
The
This is
water's
my
world. This is
my
Rolando's world.
Right.
That's why I don't go
People he
anywhere.
tells that to.
I don't go
weird look on their
nowhere.
face and they go.
I don't
Oh,
go. People
okay.
invite me to go places, and I don't go. I don't go to any place. This is my world. Right here, I feel confident, I feel secure, I feel, but that's why I told somebody yesterday when they said, then I am a control freak. No, I'm not a control freak, I just wanted to be, because I've been double crossed, I've been stabbed in the back, I've been,
It's not like you're paranoid. You're going from experience.
no, I'm safe. I'm
Right.
safe there. I'm a safe person. I
But
like
you're
to.
not being paranoid. You
I'm-
have experience.
That's right, and
To
it
be
doesn't
careful,
mean
right.
it doesn't mean that they not gonna do anything they're not supposed to, because they got the badge, the gun,
Right.
and they're gonna come over and they're gonna do whatever they want to do, and it's their word against my word, it's not. But I'm gonna make it a little hard. I'm going to make it a little more difficult. Like people say, why do you lock your car? Look, you don't lock your car. Well, I keep telling you, you should lock your car.
But then people break into the car.
People
then I
are
have
going to break into
Then I
the
have
car.
to replace the window.
No, people are not going to. But
They do.
I don't mind people to steal my car, because my car is not worth anything. I got a 22 years old car. It's not
It's a
my.
classic.
Oh, that's what they call it now.
Yeah, classic.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. They're not gonna steal my car. I got nothing in the seats they can steal, But whatever they're gonna put in there,
I have a bunch of crap in the back. I wish someone would steal. That's why I leave it open.
Oh.
They can clean it out. I don't have.
whatever they're gonna put in my car is gonna cost them a little bit of a hard time. They're gonna have to call the locksmiths maybe, or they already know by now how to open a window,
Well,
and so. But they're gonna take the
They
5
probably
minutes.
have keys.
Yeah, they probably got keys. Of course they do.
Right.
But it's not the same thing that it just open the car. They have to get the key out of their pocket. They have to put them in the ignition key or in the door key, in the door lock. It's not that they're not gonna do it. It's just a precaution. I don't. It's like. I know it's a pain in the neck every time. Sometimes in my house, the alarm goes off because maybe one of the dogs step in some place, and I have to call and say, "Oh, everything is okay," But I like to live like that. I got gates all over the house, gate in the front, gate in the door, a gate in the other gate. I do. I always been that way. It's not even after the police stabbed me in the back. Before that, I always been that way. I don't drive the same way. I don't come home the same way or the same time. I don't do any of that stuff. I learn from the best. And but anyway, going back to what we was talking about, which was what?
I have no idea.
You see, you forgot. You see,
no
you're not
idea.
paying attention. You're
No,
not
I was
paying
paying
attention,
attention
but
to
I'm
what
sure
you
you
were
pay
saying.
attention to your show. When you're doing your show, you know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't have anybody deflecting my thought process away.
Oh, am I doing that?
No, I just all by myself. I never stop talking about what I'm talking about. I just keep going. I
Oh,
don't have to back up and go back to something else.
I
I
see.
never go forward. I always go steady Eddie.
Yeah,
But
no,
anyways,
we
we
was
were
talking about that guy yesterday. Then he was
Right.
telling me
That
that.
you're a parent, you're a control freak.
Yeah,
That's what you were talking about.
and then you know, I don't want to, I don't want to be, I don't want to be in the big leagues. I don't, something like that. I told him, I said, at my age, if I have not been successful up to now, I'm not going to be successful now. It's too late for me to be famous or successful or well known. I don't want to be any of that stuff. I just finished telling you that I like my privacy. In the old days, in the old Las Vegas, in the 60s and the 50s, you know, when everybody used to go to the coffee shops and the hotels, because nobody go anyplace else but the coffee shop and the hotels, because the service was good, the price was good, and the food was excellent. You know, everybody wants to sit in the front tables because that way they see who is coming in, and whoever is coming in can see them. I sit all the way in the back, all the way. I used to be at the Sands Hotel all the time, and I don't count the Aladdin because the Aladdin was. I used to go there in the middle of the night because cheesecakes. I love the cheesecake at the Aladdin. But at the Sands, I used to go there at the end of the table, right there, almost by the pool. I sit there where nobody sees.
Yeah, you were watching the girls by the pool.
No, it was nighttime. It wasn't
okay.
no. But I don't. I don't like people to bother me. I don't like people. I don't like to be seen. I go out and eat because I was single. I don't know how to cook, so I gotta go out and eat. You know, simple as that. And this guy was trying to tell me that I have to be in touch with somebody. They have 25 million people, listeners. I'm glad that I got 3 people listening. And if they don't listen today, they listen tonight and they listen tomorrow. You know, I'm not looking for anything. I'm looking for to express my opinion, to get it out of my chest. And even if I can convince one person, then to change their mind about how they feel about this country. And he told me that I'm anti-American. I tell you, that was the biggest insult and the biggest stupidity I ever heard. Okay? Because I think I am as American as anybody that was born and raised here in this country. Okay, I don't, like I said before, and I have to talk about this today because it's just that I got it in my chest. I got to get it out of my chest. I have to, and you know, I don't see how it can be any different. I need this newspaper and I need this radio station like I need a hole in my head. Okay? I'm old. Even Donald Trump took my line from me. I don't drink. I don't gamble. I don't do drugs. At my age, sex is a surprise every 6 months or a year. So I don't spend any money. With my little Social Security check and my retirement check, I can live like a king. I don't need this, but I do want to give back to a community that I have been enjoying immensely. I've been in this town almost all my life, my adult life, and I think it is time for somebody to give a different opinion, and I wanted to have people to have their own mentality, and they do tell people, even if they're wrong, even if I'm wrong, maybe somebody else get an idea and they can do it right. You know, I don't believe that the people should repeat what somebody else said. You can comment on what somebody else said, and this is what people don't understand. That's what people don't understand. If you said that Donald Trump is good, and I said Donald Trump is good, and Don said Donald Trump is good, and Madame said Donald Trump is good. That's 5 people saying, I said 5, 4. Well,
I don't know. I thought it was 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people saying Donald Trump is good. So maybe somebody else will say, wow, maybe Donald Trump is good, you know. But when I have to get what you said about Donald Trump and put him in my microphone and repeat, it's not me saying it, it's you saying it. Does that make sense or not?
Well, you can listen to other people and agree with them or not agree with them, and you can repeat what they say because it concurs with what you say.
With your own lips, with your own mouth.
Right. So all you do is you're still saying what you think,
Right.
and then you can refer to what other people have told you to as backup for what you think. And
Right.
so and so said the same thing.
Yeah, because
But,
that's
you
the
know,
way that's the way
I
it is.
resort to. I suffer from a fatal affliction called common sense. I have terminal common sense, and I'll never ever get rid of it. It's lasts forever for your lifetime. If something doesn't make sense to me, it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
In my opinion, and I can be wrong, even though I never been wrong before, but it's always the first time. In my opinion, is then when you repeat and repeat and repeat what one person said, it's called brainwash.
Well,
And I don't like to be brainwashed.
When you're repeating a theory of, especially on a conspiracy type basis or something that has no basis in reality, that's where you lose me. I'm gone after that.
It's like Harry Reid said, when you repeat the lie too many times,
Right.
somebody's gonna
Well,
believe it.
See, that won't happen to me. You can repeat the lie 1,000,000,000 times.
That's
but
right.
My fatal common sense will never allow that to be truth in my mind.
And if
I don't
that-
care how many times I'm told it.
And if by refusing to be brainwashed, I be called anti-American, so be it.
Right, a
You know.
racist or a sexist or
Yeah.
whatever, because you believe in common sense. I'm sorry. I'm not a sexist because I say something about Hillary Clinton that's true. That doesn't make me a sexist. You know, I don't say that about other women.
But that is the mentality of the people. They have no base.
Of course.
You know, it's like now when you criticize the president, oh, you're a racist.
Yeah.
No, you're not a racist. You're criticizing the president's action, not the president's color of the skin. And besides, he's only half black.
I don't know what racism is associated with, but can a white who says something about another white, that's not racist, right?
No.
Right, so we should never have any minority ever again until we're ready to be a minority, because it just doesn't work, because a minority is going to use that issue. Anytime you object to one of their policies, it's because you're against that minority. So we should never have a minority ever again in a position of power until we have matured to some level where we don't have to call anybody a name because they disagree with us. That's my point.
Oh no, that's not fair.
Well, it is,
That's
it's
not
common
fair.
sense.
You mean we cannot have Hillary as president now?
No, it's not because she's a woman, it's because she's
Because she's a
Hillary
minority.
Clinton. No, she's
Oh.
not a minority.
Oh, okay.
She is in her thought process. She's an ideologue. She's a
What did you
socialist.
say?
An ideologue.
What's your language?
An ideologue. Now, let me rephrase
Oh,
that.
oh.
She's an idiot-logue.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I mean, she's talk about brainwashed. Man, oh man, she has no common sense left. None, zero. Other than the fact that everything's for her.
But I always thought that
You know.
she's the one that advise her hubby.
Of course. Well, look at her hubby. I mean,
She's the one that advise her hubby. She is more, in my opinion, it is more vindictive than Bill Clinton is.
Well, the only thing that Bill Clinton has going for him that he's going to fight at some point to not lose is I've been president and you haven't been. That's his only power over Hillary Clinton. So if he loses that and she becomes president,
Yeah,
I
but
think,
was he the president?
Well, supposedly, we never got,
No.
he was in peace, but we never could
You
get
know,
rid of him.
I don't speak English that well.
Well, that
so-
depends on what the word was,
Yeah.
I guess. Was he the
Yes.
president? I don't know. He wasn't my president. He may have had a
I think
title, but he was a lying bastard.
I think
he
she
tried-
was the president.
Well, that could be. She was a president of the Bimbo Eruption Squad,
Yeah.
and I wonder if she ever found. I wonder if she ever found out where the entrance to that tunnel was.
Oh, I'm sure.
Of course, Monica walked to the front door because she had a job there.
Yeah.
You know, with her knee pads. She brought to her. She said to her friend, "I'm going to Washington with my knee pads."
Oh, that's a good one. I never hear anybody saying that.
She said it.
Oh, she say
She
it?
said that to her friends when she got the job. She was going to Washington with her knee pads. She said it. I get that from her.
Oh.
That was her description of her job title.
Oh.
Knee pads.
So she had in mind to do what she was.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
And she did it. And she was enough foresight to get evidence. The old blue dress trick. That brought old Clinton down, boy, and saved her life. She wouldn't be breathing today if it wasn't for that blue dress. I think she was on the hit list, like all the other people that have disappeared under the Clinton regime.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the piling
I
up of
tell
the
you,
dead
she's
bodies.
lucky she's still alive.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that dress, she wouldn't be. That with the old DNA is irrefutable evidence now. Ask Barry Scheck.
Yeah, but what did that have to do with her being alive?
Because she was going to get hit. That guy, whatever his name was, I forget now, but they had that operative that was working for Hillary and Bill Clinton that had an interview set up or a meeting set up with her. And things weren't going well. She was going to spill the beans on some national show, and he had a date to go see her. And that date, she wasn't going to come out of it. That was the hitman, the Clinton hitman. Ask Vincent Foster. I forget his name now, escapes me, but anyways.
You know, we got 10 minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about Bundy. I thought, I was under the impression that if you are in trouble with the law, you can hire any attorney that you want to hire as long as you can afford it. Why is it that the judge is prohibited, what's his name,
Larry Klayman.
Larry Klayman, from being the attorney for?
Because he's under investigation from some judge or whatever, has filed some impropriety charges against him on something that had to do with a case that he filed. Out of all the cases that Larry Klayman has handled in his lifetime, you're talking about one or two little hiccups with a judge where Larry Klayman was probably right and the judge was wrong. What a unique idea, you know. So this judge now is pointing to that as some reason to not allow this guy into her courtroom. But the reason is, I think, is because Larry Klayman knows the Constitution and no judge in this country does. So she doesn't want to have to hear a lecture about what the law is, and Larry Klayman is just the type to tell her that what she's doing to Cliven Bundy is not legal, because you can't keep a guy in jail against his rights because he has a history of not obeying federal orders from judges that are not legal orders. There's some word that always precedes an order in anything that you read, and it says valid order. If that word valid is not there, it's not an order that can be enforced, because it's not a valid order. And all the orders that the judges have put against Bundy relate to what they're claiming is federal property, and it's not federal property.
Okay, but what do you mean valid order? Is any other kind of order?
Pardon me?
Is any other kind of order?
Yeah, there's an invalid order. An invalid order is something that's not constitutional.
But if it's invalid order, then it's not an order.
It's given by a judge, so it's an order. A judge signs an order, that's an order. But everything that you read about an order, what is an order, there'll be a word on that description, and it's valid order. Everything I've ever read about orders, court orders, it says valid order. That word is there because it's very important. If the order's not valid, it has
It's
no
very,
force.
very confusing for
Well,
for poor people like me that don't speak
It's
English
common
too
sense,
well.
and why Clayman's not being allowed in the case is because Clayman speaks common sense from a constitutional standpoint, and he would blow right by this judge, because this judge doesn't know the law. The judge is keeping Bundy behind bars because Bundy might not follow some future hypothetical order in the future.
Let me ask you something.
It's ridiculous.
Let me ask you something. What about if he don't appear in court, but he is behind the scene defending Bundy? Is that illegal?
Well, Bundy has lawyers that I'm sure are in communication with Larry Clayman also, so it would be a tough hoe to row if you're making a claim. The judges say, well, you're getting information from Clayman. I mean, he is a lawyer. He just can't come. He doesn't have any standing before this particular judge because the judge is not allowing him to have standing. That's the technicality. But Clayman can talk to anybody he wants to, and anybody can listen to him that wants to. So like Joel Hansen, if he listens to something that Clayman says about some constitutional issue, and Hansen repeats that to the judge as being constitutional, the judge can't do anything about that, although any judge, I guess, could try. Did you get that from Clayman? Who knows? They're all incompetents, in my opinion. Every judge that I've been in touch with in the last 5 years, 6 years, is incompetent. I have not found one competent ruling yet in my particular case, and I've read hundreds and hundreds of cases, and I do see competent rulings that have come in the past, but the ones that I'm getting are totally out there. They're totally incompetent. They're not constitutional, period. They're invalid, illegal orders, and they have no force. It's like the judge is saying that,
It's scary, eh?
that Bundy is not following court orders regarding trespassing on government property. It's not government property. It's like in my case. You don't have subject matter jurisdiction if the property's not in Nevada.
So-
it's the same thing. You don't have the power to dictate anything to do with property not in Nevada. This judge has no jurisdiction to say Bundy violated an order having to do with federal property when he never did anything about federal
why don't they establish the property rights?
Well, because that would throw it out. Bundy would win. You can't have that. And that's why they're keeping him in jail, because they don't want it to go before a jury.
Oh.
If this thing doesn't go before his rights,
Yeah, this is almost
doesn't
like
go to
the
a
same.
jury.
This is almost like the same thing that happened with Christine Lobato. The judge didn't allow the jury to know that she was not in Las Vegas when the crime was
don't you
committed.
think that's important?
That
might be an issue?
No, it cannot be important because if the jury
There's no
find
case.
out, it's no case.
Right. That's why it wasn't admitted, because that's fatal to their case.
And they refuse the DNA. They don't allow
fatal too.
her to present the DNA. And
That means the government loses the
Innocent
case.
Project was going to pay for that.
The government wins. That's all they want is a win, a notch. They won. The government won. They have to win every case. That's like a ball game. You're going to be the world champions. You have to win. That's the way the court analyzes everything. They have to win.
And that's what
You can't go against what the court says.
And that's what some of the people do when they run for judge. Some of that judge the other day, she laughed when I said you changed the uniform from a black suit to a black robe.
Right.
But that's what it is. That's what it is. And they said 100% conviction rate. Of course you have to have a 100% conviction rate if nobody go against you. You force people to plead guilty.
Well, I'm of the belief that respect means something in this country, and the way the Constitution was designed, judges and elected officials even should carry with the title of that office a particular amount of respect. I agree with that. Until they lose their integrity. And then, in my opinion, they are not entitled to any respect. Once they lose the integrity, they have no entitlement to any respect.
That's right.
And when a court or a judiciary loses integrity, they might as well be a piece of excrement as far as I'm concerned. They have no respectability. Integrity and respectability goes hand in hand. I'm sorry, Judge, you're not respectable. And I'm not gonna, oh, rise. Rise for what? You don't have any integrity. Once the court loses integrity, they're done. And the judge we had here the other day confirmed that integrity is the most important thing the way she looked at her job. That was the most important thing she can relay, is the integrity of the office, right?
I mean Judge Zaragoza.
Yes,
Yeah.
she said that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of asked her a question. Oh, really?
And why do you think they want to take her out of the bench?
Because she's not a team player. She's not a company man, is what I refer to.
She is not a team player.
Right.
No, she played with the people of Las Vegas.
Well, that's
She is the team player for us.
well. That's not the team that I'm. That's
You're
the
not the
audience.
team they refer.
Right. That's the viewers, the audience.
Well,
You're
look at the case. The two people that are running against her are too incompetent. They never have a job, never work as an attorney. How can you be a
I thought
judge?
you had to be an attorney for 5
Yeah,
years.
you are an attorney, but they never
That
work
might
as
be
an
just-
attorney.
Oh, I thought you had to be a practicing attorney, but I may be mistaken.
I don't think it has to be practice as long as you are registered as an attorney and you pay the bar fee, you are an attorney. Like my friend Michelle Daquea, she works for her husband now, and she don't take cases from outside, but she's an attorney. She's in the legal directory. She got a number. She can run for judge again. She ran once, but she doesn't want to run for judge because it's too much of a corruption. She's supposed to be coming in this week. She was out of town, but I like her. I like when she comes, and I supported her when she was running for judge in family court. And it's funny because she was running against Delvecchio, and everybody was helping Delvecchio. And then after he won the election, he was thrown out of the bench for committing crimes.
Well, there's a couple judges on the bench right now committing crimes.
Yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah.
And they should be thrown out. I don't see how a judge can knowingly commit a federal crime and have any integrity left.
Well,
I mean, that's detrimental. That's a bad apple in the mix.
we run out
You
of
need to
time.
get rid of bad apples in the barrel, or the whole barrel's going to be
We
spoiled.
run out of time, and it's time to say goodbye. Time to say thank you for listening. Thank you for all the inputs and the emails that you sent, and thank you for your support. And now I say thank you to you, and to God bless you, God bless America, God bless our troops.
Well, tune in 2 o'clock to the Herd. That'll be the next show up to date. That's our
You
schedule.
can run the show with Judge Zaragoza if you want to, but
It's
if
an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh,
long,
no.
But I could do it.
No, it's okay. We do it some other time. We do it at 3 o'clock.
About Marshall.
Marshall, you can put
Want to run
Marshall.
that one?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll run a previous show with Judge Marshall, who's running for re-election. She's Justice Court too, isn't she?
I believe it's 3.
Huh?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we'll run a show from a few days ago, and for your listening pleasure, thank you.